Hey guys, this is Heather Hope again. Happy Friday to you. Okay, so let's jump into today's topic. Do you need to feel good to manifest? Okay, so popular opinion is that you don't. Within, I think, the law of assumption people, and I think the law of attraction people think that you do. So now I've talked about this numerous times. I like to stay off the subject from now on, but they're all basically everybody's saying the same things, just different words and whatever. I've spoken about it a lot, but do you need, okay. So my background with Abraham Hicks was I was convinced that I had to always feel good to manifest. But there was some instances, and my clients would ask me about this too. And I'm like, well, Abraham would say that, some people who are not very nice people, that they couldn't possibly be feeling good. And then they're manifesting still like lots of money, like businessmen or whatever. Right. And, I was kind of like, well, Abraham would say, well, we don't know the mix of their vibration. Okay. Now I understand all of this better because I had the same question about lottery winners. Because majority of the lottery winners, the stories have always been they struggled with money. They were like their last few dollars. They didn't have enough to pay their bills. I've heard it if you watch lottery winning shows, you hear those stories all the time. And I would be stumped of they weren't feeling good when they were winning the lottery. So how did they win the lottery when I thought we were supposed to feel good all the time to manifest what we wanted, right? It never made sense to me until today. Because the topic keeps coming up and I'm hearing people say, no, you do not need to feel good to manifest what you want. And I'm like, how the hell does that even work? And then I was like, oh, now I know because I know how we're manifesting a lot easier is just by being positive, having some positive statements. Now, so a lot of people, and I would guarantee that these people who win the lottery, yeah, they're struggling. They need more money. But you know what? I bet they all had the same thing in common, where they either believed one day that they would win, right? They had an assumption or a belief that they would win one day. So that will play out, right? At some point. Could be years from now, right? Because they just have that belief. They don't really think about it that often. They're more in the struggle. They're in the struggle bus, right? All the time. There's other people that are like, well, it's in God's hands. I will win when it's the right time. And, and they go back and forth with the struggle, right? The thinking back and forth, the hot and cold, right? People who still remain hopeful at times, they may be like, oh, I don't have enough to pay my bills. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then they may play the lottery and they're like, gosh, wouldn't it be cool to win the lottery? Right? They go downstream. They change their thoughts. And it very well could be the last thought that they had. And then they win. It's crazy because, listening to the stories, it's like, they couldn't have felt good when they were talking about their whole struggle. And I'm like, how is this? They weren't jumping up and down, feeling amazing. They weren't. Most people don't feel that way. You know what I mean? You look out in society, you go to the convenience store. Most people who walk into a Circle K is not jumping up and down happy, and let me buy some lottery tickets because I know I'm going to win. Today's my lucky day. You don't see that very often. And you definitely don't see that in majority of the lottery winner stories. You hear the struggle. You hear they're working 2-3 jobs. You hear that they didn't have enough for Christmas. You hear all these stories and you're like, how did they win? Well, they had enough positive, hopeful thoughts going in the right direction to tip the scale, or, because all there is now, right? There is momentum of thought, but when you go downstream, it's powerful. When you get back into your God state, into your knowing that you're powerful, you don't even have to know that you're powerful, but geez, it's so much more powerful when you know you're powerful. When you know that, you can manifest things so fast. So it's just, I love understanding this, because then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, now it makes sense. Because when I have a question about something, I'm like, I get a little on edge, because I'm like, but like I need to know everything so I can really teach it at a deep level of when somebody asks me, well, and I'm like, well, I'm not quite sure. Well, I think that's a lame ass excuse. If I'm going to teach something, I need to know. And I'm just very, I want to say anal about that, but I just am. Because it's not enough for me to give platitudes. It's not enough at all for me to give platitudes and like, it just believe it's going to happen. I think most people kind of do that, but I don't. There's some things that I wish I knew a few years ago. I wish somebody explained it to me more clearly. And then I would have gotten this stuff a long time ago. I'd be like, oh, now I understand. Like the whole thing of like, people, like high ticket coaching. I learned this a few years ago of like, just decide that you're going to charge whatever, 30 grand for your coaching or 50 grand for your coaching or 100 grand for your coaching. Just decide. It's just a decision. And I would sit here like, how does a decision make it happen? Like, how does that even make sense? That's my logical, analytical mind is like, that makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like, but then now I know, like when you make a decision of something that you are going to have, the world, like the universe bends over backwards for that thing to happen because you, God, made the decision that that is what you now are going to have, right? That is powerful. Now I get it. It's like, but when people just say, well, just make a decision. And it's like, well, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I would get like upset over it because I'm like, you're not explaining the whole thing. I need the whole story. I know I am an outlier. I am that person that like, but I just really feel when you educate yourself at a deep level, that's where real deep knowing comes from. It's like when you really understand a concept, then you know it. And that's why I teach it the way I do, because it's like, I think it's vitally important to know why or how things happen. I personally find it easier to understand, like when you actually understand it, or easier to implement, because then it's like, oh yeah, now I get it. Now I know why it works. So crazy, right? So yes. So make sure your thoughts, like you can have the negative thoughts. You can. I mean, you're human, right? And you can have the negative feelings. Today I was on like kind of feeling on edge. And sometimes I do feel this way. Like I'm connected to people, right? We're all connected, right? But when I'm connected particularly to certain people, I'll have a random day where like I'm on fire. I'm on like on top of the world for like days. And then there'll be some random day that I'm awake. Like during the day, I'm like feeling on edge and I'm like, or tired, like really tired. And then I'll talk to a friend that I'm close to and I'm like, that person felt the same way that day, or there was something going on with that person that day. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like that was so crazy. Cause I'm like, I don't like feeling that way. And I'm like, there's no reason for me to feel this way. So like, I kind of struggle a bit, trying to get myself back into a good feeling place. And it's like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, I bet that person is feeling this, feeling something, because we're so connected. And it's like, because we're all one. And the closer you are to people in your life, you kind of can, it's just an energetic thing, and it's like, it's hard to shake. And it's like, goodness gracious. So anyhow, so you can feel your feelings, but I say don't get stuck in them, right? You can feel them. Like the thing about feeling is that you're reacting, and we really don't want to react. We want to just stay neutral to our 3D world, unless it's something that is really going well. Like anything that's going in our direction, in the direction that we want to be in, react to that in a good way. If it's stuff that you don't want in your life, stay neutral and then react positively, and over exaggerate that of like, no, it's totally going my way. Oh my gosh, I got this. It's totally fine, because you are the captain of your ship, right? We talked about this on Wednesday of that you steer your car, you steer your boat. You're the one who can direct back to where you want to be. So do you always need to feel good? That's really the question. Do I always need to feel good? I think the goal is to always feel good. That is an absolute goal. That needs to be the goal. That needs to be the goal. Because why not? It feels amazing to feel amazing. Like it's incredible to feel good. So I think that should be the goal. Do you have to always feel good to manifest what you want? No. Is it easier? Yeah, because then your thoughts are all in alignment. But you're going to have moments. Just get your thoughts back into. So what I've learned from the other coaches is like when you're feeling things, just keep affirming that things are going fine. Things are going great. It's going to be okay. Everything, I'm powerful. I'm God. Whatever affirmations you need to recite in those moments so you don't spiral. So you don't lose your total control of your emotions and, be in bed for the next 3 days. Like no one wants to live that way anymore. Like no one ever did, but like don't live your life like that. Like the main goal is to really manage your thoughts and emotions as much as possible and be very, very stable in your feelings, stable in your thoughts, stable. So you're not up and down, because when you're up and down, your life is up and down. When you're doing really well, life is really well, right? Life is going really great. When you're going to crap, your life goes to crap. Everything is you. Everything is you pushed out, right? So how you are is how your reality is. Like everything around you is you. So, I can say be happy, but that just sounds ridiculous. I never tell people to be happy because I know how ridiculous that sounds. But to really focus on feeling really good, just focus on feeling really good. Like, oh my gosh, it feels incredible. Like when you have those moments that you're feeling really good, you milk that like forever, for as long as you possibly can, because it is so good. It's so good. And over time, you won't have those downs. They'll become so far off. And then when it does happen, you're like, what the hell is this? This sucks. Let me get out of this. This is like a terrible feeling. And you'd be like, how did I ever function in life that way? We shouldn't be functioning in life in a hole. We shouldn't. That's not why we came here. What's the point, right? So feel good as much as you possibly can. When you're feeling low, feeling down, make sure you start affirming in those moments of like, you know what? I was feeling good before. I can get there again. It's not that big of a deal. Whatever you have to say to yourself to get yourself back on track. That's the most important part of what I'm trying to say today is get back on track. Quick. I've been preaching that for 25 years with all my clients in the past. Of the goal is to get back on track with your thoughts. Get back on track. I've been preaching self-talk, positive self-talk since how old am I? In May, I'm going to be 47. I got into the psychology field. I got into it when I was 20. So I've been helping people for like 27 years now total. And ever since I really learned about positive self-talk, that's my number one coping skill. Back in the day when I was helping my clients with bipolar and schizophrenia, which is depression and anxiety. Like those were my clients day in, day out for 12 years. I did group therapy for 10 years. So I had about 3 to 4 groups a day, every day. And so I had thousands of clients over the years. I had so many clients. So, but I worked with depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizoaffective, schizophrenia, borderline, all the personality disorders, all that wonderful stuff. I loved my job. I really loved what I did. because, and I'm teaching similar things because I was really focused on feeling better and managing symptoms. That was like my main thing with my clients, is managing symptoms, getting back on track, not going, not spiraling of the thoughts. And, and my number one coping skill was positive self-talk. My number one thing now is positive affirmations. Same thing, except we're talking about statements. I am powerful. I am a goddess. I am the creator of my reality. I am the one who chooses my reality. I am amazing. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am lovable. I am outstanding. I'm smart. I'm successful. I'm a millionaire. I am, right? So yeah. So it worked in the past and it works even better now. It's the number one thing. Just get your thoughts back on track so you're not going downhill. So that's it. That's it, guys. Okay, have an amazing weekend, and I will talk to you again on Monday. Oh, I'm going to start doing videos, actually. Like, these are videos. This is audio that I turn into a video, but I'm going to start getting on camera, guys. I go through bouts of, I love audio so much. I love podcasting. But I know I need to be seen, and I don't have a huge problem. It's just like logistics. It is so much easier just to grab my microphone and talk. Right now it's 9:30 on Tuesday night because I feel inspired. And I'm just that person that's like, if I don't look really good on camera, I'm not going to get on camera. You know what I mean? Like, that's just me. I'm not going to change that because I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go on camera and look like crap, or get on camera like I look like I'm homeless, because like I do in the morning. Well, actually with my hair now, it doesn't look like that anymore. When I have hair extensions, but before that, I used to wake up and I'd look freaking homeless. No offense to homeless people, but like my hair is a crazy, crazy mess. My makeup was all over the place. Like I'm like, no, I'm not going on camera first thing. That's just not happening. People would be like, who is this chick? Why is she on camera? You know what I mean? So that's just me. I like who I am. So I love audio, but I know that I want to get on camera again and really speak to you guys. And yeah, it's coming. I just have to get logistics down and something, Anyway, have a great weekend. I will be back for Monday Mindset to get you guys back on track. Have as much fun as you can this weekend. Let loose, relax. Don't worry about a single thing. Do not worry about a single thing, because that just creates circumstances that you don't want to overcome. That's just silliness. Okay. I know it's easier said than done, but we're working on it, right? Have a great weekend. I will be back on Monday. Bye, guys.